The cancel pigs have been out in full force this last week. They've gone into extreme cope mode as Heidi McDonald has riled everybody up in a narrative effort to try to stop what the comic retailers are saying. All the comic retailers have gone out and said that the comic industry is dying. Marvel and DC are responsible for putting in self-inserts and woke archetypes into this nonsense that nobody wants to read. And they're pretending everything's fine. Heidi McDonald's made an article now saying everything's completely good with comics. They're selling better than ever before. We, of course, talked about how that's a lie yesterday. We're going to expand into that. But the funniest part about this is the Whisper Network gets around, and now Heather Antos is actually taking credit, I'm dead serious, for the supposed increase in sales in the comic industry. She's claiming that she's the one doing this, and of course, just putting a middle finger at fans in the process, which we're going to get into. It's absolutely ridiculous, but of course expected from these people every single time. Let's get into the news. By the way, my name is John Delarose. I'm a #1 best-selling author and award-winning comic creator. Of course, I'm selling my stuff outside the comic shops because I'm blacklisted. And of course, I've got beautiful books on my website. So if you want to check something out, Flying Sparks is a great superhero tale. Of course, I've got 5 full volumes of it. Overmind's wonderful science fiction, and The Cosmic Warrior is a lot of the classic ode to like John Carter and stuff in the past. So please check this out. Go to my web store. Of course, support our channel. Become a member. Join the Subscribe Star. We are, of course, doing things here that nobody else is doing in the entire industry. And, of course, we've also got the Fandom Pulse, which is reporting on this stuff. This is my news website, which I started, of course, to counter people like Heidi McDonald and their fake news that they put out. And this is where we're talking about the comic industry and all the problems that are happening with it. She put out an article yesterday called Comics Aren't Dying, They're Changing. And that's got people scared. Oh my gosh. And of course, that's not the truth whatsoever. They've got articles in here, and of course, they're referencing ICV2 sales reports. Those sales reports changed the methodology of their reporting. It's kind of like how the Biden administration made their unemployment reports, right? You know how they like say, oh, it's the best economy ever, but we changed our methodology of reporting so that it doesn't show all the people who like gave up on having jobs at this point. Same sort of thing here. What happened was Comic-Con used to report the sales directly from Diamond. Diamond was the main distributor. Marvel and DC peeled off, as did a number of other publishers, and nobody reports their actual sales anymore. So they have guesstimates of what's going on with things these days. And of course, the comic retailers will tell you that things are not selling nearly as well as they used to. So this is a complete lie. They've also added in a lot of manga that just was not reported on before, so it looks like an increase, but it's not there. On top of that, they've added in YA books like Dogman, which were just not reported in this before. Those books existed, they just were not reported as comic sales. So they show it going up, but the actual American comic industry has been bleeding off sales, even with their own methodology. They've been showing that it's been not gaining anything for like the floppies that are on the stand. In fact, there's been a decrease. It's the area that is decreasing atop this. So it's a complete lie what her numbers are. And she put this. And of course, I challenged her to debate on this. And as you can see, this is how thin-skinned these people are. They're trying to present a narrative. They're trying to lie. And they are afraid of anybody who, of course, has any facts that run counter to what they're saying. They can't be seen with somebody like me, so she'll never come on my show. But, here it is. She is a coward at the end of the day who doesn't actually want to stand up and can't back up her own words. But people who try to are people like, of course, Heather Antos here. So here's one where American comic sales are declining. Thank you for your contribution. Now look at this. Look at how they say it's North American comic sales. This is sales in America, not by American publishers. That's the thing that they're lying about as they report this. Look at how they just, you massage the words a little bit and you get whatever you want to say out of these graphs, right? So she says, you're welcome. Pretending like she's taking credit, like with IDW of all things, across these sales. And if you look at it, what IDW is doing is they've delisted themselves off the stock market because their company's done so poorly. They've laid off a third of their workforce. They've actually canned their entire creator-owned comics division because it was just not making any money. So Heather Antos, who's a higher up in this company, is not doing well for them whatsoever. They've lost licenses like Transformers and G.I. Joe, which are actually selling over at Skybound now when they weren't at IDW under Heather Antos' stewardship. So she can claim this all she wants, and she can present these facts that are fake, which are just basically manga sales, which she has nothing to do with. And it's just really disgusting to watch how she just treats the fans and the people who actually care about comics like this. It's not the only thing she's done, of course. Here's like what she said originally when she's talking about the cancel pigs aspect. Now, cancel pigs was coined last week by Mark Miller, who was talking to a retailer. And of course, these people were trying to cancel that retailer for saying that comic sales are bad. That's what it came down to at the end of the day. They all piled on him, and Mark Miller defended him. They tried to cancel Mark Miller as a result. People called him nasty things across the internet, including Mark Wade. So here it is. Cancel pigs means defund the police, right? I'm certain that has to be what y'all are going on about. It's the only logical explanation. You see how she's just being snarky about it in order to try to take the fangs off of the fact that cancel pigs really refers to her, and she knows it deep down. So here it goes. This is what she goes. Mark Miller claims to be against harassment and bullying. You see how they try to turn this around to where they're victims here? They're victims of the comic industry and just how everything's been going on. Yes. Oh, that's all it is. It's not the fact that they've intentionally destroyed stuff with their politics that they've thrown into everything and their whisper network where they blacklisted people with talent. It's absolutely disgusting how they act. Many others have been harassed for years, and he's never said an effing word about it. Now he caused his people calling you cancel pigs. Yeah, basically. Well, yeah, because you are a cancel pig, Heather Antos. We know it. I mean, it's happened to me. Heather Antos, when I just report the news as a journalist, I'm a real journalist with credentials. I work for the Fandom Pulse. I used to work for Bounding Into Comics. I work for PJ Media. I used to work for the Federalist. I have credentials beyond anything out there, especially with people like Heidi McDonald or Rich Johnston. So, of course, I got a press pass for San Diego Comic-Con. I went into the IDW panel just to report on what was going on there, and Heather called security on me. I didn't go up to her, didn't do anything. I was just reporting the news. And of course, they are cancel pigs because it's just about who you are. It's not about what you do. It's really sad. I've not gotten an apology for that. She should definitely apologize to me and should be leaned on to apologize to me as somebody who's high up at IDW. That reflects really poorly on them to go after comic book journalists who just don't report what they like. That's absolutely terrible. IDW, of course, just sinks further and further every single day. So that's what's going on here, and very sad to see this with the cancel pigs out there. But, their days are numbered in this industry. They are losing their clout. They're losing any sort of, fake sales that they've attempted to generate over the last several years. And this is now going to be costing them their jobs. You hate to see it happen to a nicer bunch of people. Leave a comment down below with what you think about this. Hit that like and subscribe button, my friends. Make sure to check out my store, my Subscribe Star. Support the independent alternative to the cancel pigs. I really appreciate you being there. See you.